we know we have a crisis that's happening with fish farms in British Columbia. And if we don't get these farms out of migration routes, and actually the Wilderness Committee is saying get these farms right out of the ocean, that they're killing they're killing wild salmon that have to swim by them with sea lice. So that's where I am as an individual. But we know that the government, the current provincial government, has actually expanded the number of salmon farms, that they're aware of the threat that industrial salmon farms are posing to wild salmon, and they haven't taken steps to address it. I mean, you could have really basic bloody things, such as in the Breton Archipelago, which you could be fallowing the industrial farms, so when the wild salmon smolts are swimming by in February and March, that they don't have to swim by a cloud of sea lice. And sometimes I don't know what it's going to take for the provincial government to get it. I mean, we have mountains of scientific evidence. You can see it with your own eyes. You're seeing collapses in wild salmon in British Columbia throughout the province. And at what time will our provincial government step up to the plate and show leadership and say, you know what, this is an experiment that's gone bad. We value our wild salmon, and we're going to do the right things and close down fish farms, that we're going to review the allocation of how much you can fish for wild salmon, and actually have an allocation, not only for First Nations and other fishers, but have an allocation of salmon for eagles, for grizzly bears, for killer whales. I mean, wild salmon are really the lifeblood of the West Coast, and if we lose our salmon, conceivably we lose our eagles, we lose our killer whales, that we lose our coastal grizzly bears. I mean, it would be an ecological collapse. Take time to write to your member of the Legislative Assembly. Take time to write to the Premier of the province, Gordon Campbell. Talk to your friends about this. Investigate a little bit further. Pass on information. Sign petitions. Let the government know that you aren't content to watch wild salmon go extinct in this province. And sometimes you feel, and I know I felt the same way myself, well, what can I as an individual do? Well, you can attend rallies. Come to the Wilderness Committee website, which is wildernesscommittee.org, and we're going to have rallies. We're going to have petitions that are up. But again, it's writing a letter has a lot of weight. That when you have the government sort of has a rule of thumb that they consider one letter, and not a form letter. You want to write it in your own language, to represent the concerns of 500 other people who feel the same way. And we still live in a democracy, and people exercising their democratic voice can have a difference. And we're also, people care about endangered species in British Columbia, and they care about our wild salmon. And it's just sort of taking that feeling and those concerns and having it translate into action. And I believe in the bottom of my heart that we can shut down the open net cage fish farms that are threatening our wild salmon. I truly believe that. But it means all of us right across the province working together.